Hello. Okay, so we'll start the class. Okay, can you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
So I think last class we discussed about account receivable. Or AR. Okay. So today we'll work in accounts payable or AP. Here we'll do configurations related to our vendor or goods supplier. In account receivable we did configurations for customers, right? So here we are going to do the configurations related to vendor. Like first configurations or first chapter is vendor group creation and vendor master. Vendor group will be maintained by consultant or created by consultant, and vendor master means individual vendor. Individual vendor will be created by end user. Okay. What are the configurations we did in account receivable? It's quite opposite to account receivable. Then in account receivable we did sales. Here we need to do purchase, invoices and purchase returns. Purchase invoices and purchase returns. Then we can create a new terms of payment, or else we can use terms of payments which we maintain for customer. So same terms of payments we can use. Okay, here we are not having any interest calculation, but special GL indicator. Special GL indicator is there. Means here we are going to pay the down payment to vendor. Down payment what we made to my vendor, I am going to do the configurations here. Then here we are going to do the GST or goods and service taxes. Sixth one sorry TDS or withholding tax. Then seventh one automatic payment program, that is EPP. Here we are having two categories or two types or three types. We can in APP I am going to show two types, and the third one I will show in a different chapter. First one is vendor payment or automatic payment through check. How we are going to make the payment through check and bank transfer. Okay, and then one more option is there, that is cash payment, but here I am not going to show cash payment in automatic payment program. We are having a separate topic called cash journal. There we are discussing cash payment or cash regarding transaction. Okay, then creation of vendor centrally. So creations, how to create the vendors in a centralized way. Okay, that we are going to discuss, and we can clear the vendor payment manual also. 1 minute. Manually also we can clear the payment, as we are having the automatic, but in real time we are not using the vendor payment manually. Okay, so we are having the option called automatic. Okay, just a moment, I'll come. Sorry, so we'll continue. Okay, here, as I told you, we are in real time. We are usually maintain the payments to a vendor automatically. We'll never use manual payment, but here we can do the manual payment also. For 1 or 2 vendors, we can do the manual payment. Okay. Okay, so first we'll start with creation of vendor group. As in account receivable, we did the same procedure, but here in the same way, but we are going to create a vendor group here. We are not going to create any customer group here. We already created the customer group, and now we are going to create the vendor group. So I am going to create PSDV. DV stands for domestic, and PSD is my company code, and PSFV, that is foreign vendor group, and PS1V, one-time vendor group. Okay, then need to create number ranges for my group or vendor account. This second step, and third one, assign number ranges to vendor account group. So what are the number ranges we maintained? We need to assign to my vendor account group. Then these are the configurations as a consultant we need to maintain. Then by using this group, end user used to create the individual vendor. As a As a consultant, we will never create any vendor master. We will not create any vendor master as a consultant. So as a consultant, we are going to maintain, or we are going to create vendor group. That's it. So what is the use of group? It controls the field status in. It controls the field status in. What is the use of group? It controls the field status in vendor master. Yes, so for that purpose, field status means. So as we discussed, we are having so many fields in vendor creation. While creating, we are getting so many fields. Like I tell you, what are the fields we are going to get. Okay. Yes. So while creating vendor, we are getting general data or basic data. There we are going to maintain the vendor name, address, telephone number, bank details, tax number, etc. And second group is, second fields is company code. There we are getting, or we are having terms of payments, reconciliation account, interest calculation, tolerance group, automatic payment program. All this comes under company code data. And on purchase data, terms of payments, again currency, Incoterms, international commercial terms. These things we already discussed, right? These are the data we are going to get while creating vendor, right? Now, as a finance consultant, we will not use all data. As a finance consultant, we require only basic data or general data in company code data. And we are going to use FK01 to create the vendor. And as a MM consultant, they don't require any company code data, so they didn't use any company code data. So they are going to use company code data, general data and purchasing data. But we can create centralized vendor by using XK01. There we are going to use all data like basic data or general data, company code data and purchasing data. It's called creation of vendor centrally. Okay, so now we'll create the group. As I told you, we are going to create the domestic group. Domestic group will vendor group, foreign vendor group and one-time vendor group will create in system. Okay, so I'll come to system. Okay, for configuration purpose, I need to come to IMG level. I'll come to tools, customizing, IMG, SPRO, execute project. Okay. Now I'll come to financial accounting in IMG level, financial accounting new, then account receivable and accounts payable, vendor accounts, master data, and preparations for creating vendor master data. Then click on define account group with screen layout. T code is OBD3. Here click on new entry. See here account group, and as I told you, we are having this field status like general data, company code data, and purchasing data. Here in account group, I need to mention what kind of account I am going to create or account group I am creating, and here is the description. If it is a one-time account, I need to select this one, and otherwise no need to select this one. And what kind of fields I need to maintain, just double click on any one of these field status, and whichever fields you require you can select as optional entry, or you can hide some particular fields, or you can make it some fields as a required entry or optional or display entry. Okay, so I'll create one account group. I'll take PSDV, that is my description is domestic vendor group for my company code PSD, and it is not a one-time account. And if you want to see the statuses, just double click on general data. Under general data we are having 5 groups. Double click on address. In address we are having so many fields like name, address, search item, name 2, name 3, name 4, like that, postal code, city, street, district, region, all this will be there, and all fields are in optional entry, right? All fields are in optional entry. If you want you can change. This is a standard setup. If you want you can change according to your requirement. So example, for my company, while vendor creation, name should be entered, so I am going to select name as a required entry. What does it mean? Whenever end user used to create the vendor, whenever end user used to create the individual vendor or vendor master record, he need to input name of that particular vendor. Otherwise, system will not allow you to save the document or save the entry. Okay, you should remember while selecting required entry, you should remember all the required data should be there with you. Otherwise, system will not allow you to save the entry. Okay, here I am going to select name as a required entry, and all other fields let it be in optional entry, and I am going to save this. Now again I'll go to general data and communication, double click on communication. So again telefax, telebox, data line, everything is there, and all are in optional entry. If you want you can change, as I told you, if you want you can change according to your requirement. Next, controls. Controls means customer, corporate, tax code, everything again in optional entry. Then payment transaction, this bank details, all these things again in back optional entry. Now come back to main level and double click on company code data, their account management, double click on account management. Here I am going to select reconciliation account and cash management. So reconciliation account, here I need to assign for vendor, need to assign sundry creditors to vendor account. Okay, then cash management group, say example, if there is a predefined cash management group is said, A1 stands for domestic payment and A2 stands for foreign payment. Okay, and AC stands for one-time payment. Okay. So these are the two fields I am going to select as a required entry, because reconciliations we are going to link with GL, AP and GL integration. It will help to integration with AP stands for accounts payable and GL general ledger. Because AP means accounts payable, where we are going to create the vendors, and GL where we have created the reconciliation account. Okay, so in that way we are going to integrate with GL and AP. Then cash management group, it will bifurcate the payment, how we are going to make the payment, whether I am paying through domestic way or I'm paying through foreign. Okay, so that I need to mention in my system. So that's the reason I'm going to select this as a required entry. Okay, as I told you, you can select any field as a required entry according to the requirement. Save. Now you can go to purchasing data, then again purchasing data. There select purchasing order currency as a required entry. While creating vendor, we should know on which currency we are going to deal with. Okay, that's very much mandatory. That's the reason I selected this as a currency as a required entry. Okay, save this. Okay, now after saving we come to main screen again. Now I need to create one more group. So click on next entry or press F8 here. And I'll give the account group name as PSFV, that is foreign vendor group for company code PSD. Again I'll double click on general data, then double click on address, and I'll going to select name on as a required entry. Save. Double click on company code data, double click on account management. There I'm going to select reconciliation account and cash management group as required entry. Save. Then come back and double click on purchasing data. Again double click on purchasing data and select order currency as required entry. Save. Okay, so these are the fields which I maintain or which I control like this. Okay, now next I'm going to create one more account. Click on next entry or press F8 to create one more account group. Here I'll give PSOV, that is one time vendor group for my company code PSD. For one time account I need to select this box, one time account. What does it mean? It means very rare transaction, very rare transaction, or it's a minimum transaction or cash and carry transactions. All that kind of vendors we are going to assign in this particular group. Okay, only this option you need to change, and remaining configurations or remaining steps will be same. General data, double click on address. There I'm going to select name on as a required entry and save. Then I'll come to company code data, then account management group, select reconciliation account and cash management group as a required entry. Then I'll come to purchasing data, double click on again purchasing data again. Here I'm going to select order currency as required entry and save. Okay, so these three groups are created. Now for this group or for this vendor I need to create number ranges. So I'll come back to main screen. See, here is an option to create the number ranges. Create number ranges for vendor account. T code is XKN1. Path will be same. Okay, here it will come like this. There click on change intervals. Then if you want to insert or if you want to add the ranges, just click on this plus button or insert line or press F6 also you can use. Okay, here I need to give some serial number, like 2 character I can give. I will give P4 and enter, and I'll come to P4. Where is yes P4? I need to give the range here. Say example. Give like this 3110011. Okay, it is not accepting. Okay, 33110000 like that I am giving. Whenever end user used to create the individual vendor or enter master record, this number will be picked up from picked up from system. Okay, if I'm going to select as a internal, as we discussed what type of number ranges, internal number ranges and external number ranges, right? For many cases or almost every cases, we need to maintain internal number ranges. Okay, then again insert, I'll give number as P5, and whenever I used to create foreign vendor, this should be the number. Okay, again insert P6, okay. For three groups I maintained three number ranges. I'll show that one: P4, P5, P6, right? So whenever end user used to create the number, create the vendor in domestic group, this number will be picked up. For foreign vendors, this number will be picked up, and for one-time vendor, this number will be picked up. And this is not a standard number range. This is my creation, but in real time, client is going to give the requirement. On that basis, you need to create the number ranges like this. But creations will be same. Save. Okay, now what are the number ranges I maintained that I need to assign this in this account group? So assign number ranges to vendor account group. T code is OBAS. Path same. Then click on position here. Account group PSDV. Account group is PSDV. Enter. See here, my account group is here. For that, I need to maintain the number range. If you know, you can type it here. Otherwise, you can click on this button or press F4. We'll get the drop down. From that drop down, you can select your ranges. Just now we maintained the number ranges. So here, come here, little bit down, P4, P5 and P6, right? So P4, P5 and P6. Okay, PSDV, P4 and PS. Whenever end user used to create the vendor under this group, this number will be picked up. So whatever number ranges I maintained, that will be picked up. Okay, save this. Now configurations part is over. Now I'll come to easy access. There I am going to create the individual vendor. But in real time, individual vendors will be maintained by end users. As a consultant, no need to create any individual vendor. Okay. Now I'll come to easy access. I'll go to accounting, financial accounting, accounts payable, master records, and T code FKS01. Create. As we are maintaining internal number ranges, so vendor column should be blank, and company code PSD, account group PSDV. So this is my domestic group. So I'll press enter. Okay, here we can give any title, but usually in real time we are going to create the vendor in company name only. Okay, name of the vendor we can give any. So I'll take Kirloskar Industries. And address will be MG Road, Bangalore. You can give any address, it's not an issue. Country India and region 10. If you want to maintain the post office box number, postal code number, everything you can maintain here. Okay. So after done with this step, press enter. will come to this level. There I need to maintain the tax VAT number, tax number, GST number. Here I need to maintain. If you're having the details with you, you can add here, but here I don't require all these things. I'm going to skip this. So press enter to skip this step. Okay, here I need to maintain the bank details of my vendor, because as I told you, we need to do the payment, right? So we need to do the bank transfer. If you are having a bank transfer with this particular vendor, then I need to maintain bank details here. This is country, then which bank account you are having the account, then you need to mention the account number, then account holder number. Then if you are having any alternative payee, you can mention it here. Sometimes what will happen, vendor will be in a different bank details, okay, then I need to provide this bank details, okay, alternative payee. Hence I am not going to maintain anything here, because we are not having any real vendor. Just press enter to continue. There we'll get another screen like this. I need to mention the contact person details. If you are going to this company, who is the contact person, or whom should you meet, and in which department, what is his name, in which department he is working for, and what kind of function he is having. Say example, we'll add this. Say example, Karthik. So what kind of department he is working, whether he is a managing director or purchasing, sales, and what kind of function. Executive board. Okay, we'll take one more. See that, and this particular department is purchase department, and what the function he is, head of purchasing. So we can add number of contact person. Okay, then press enter. Okay, here while creating the group, we selected reconciliation account and cash management group as a required entry, remember. Okay, that's the reason if you click on save, system will not allow you to save the entry, because some fields which we selected as a required entry, either we need to input that data, otherwise we need to quit this screen, or we need to come out from this screen. As we are having a reconciliation account with me, I am going to select sundry creditors. As I told you, sort key, we are having the sort key, I can assign sort key, hence it is not a required entry, so I'll select the sort key. Then cash management group, as I told you, it's a domestic customer, domestic payment or domestic vendor. Here I'm going to select domestic payment. And interest indicator, not required. Okay, so not required this much. Okay, then press enter, will come to next screen. Sorry. Okay, so we'll come to next screen, press enter. Okay, here I need to maintain the payment terms. I think I didn't maintain. Yeah, I'll check once. Yes, we are having terms of payments PS3T, PS2T and PSIP. So here I will going to assign 3T, and tolerance group PSD, and here I can mention payment method, how I am going to make the payment. As I told you, we are having three types of payments: check payment, bank payment and cash transfer. Here I can mention this payment method. If you press F4, okay, no data is there. So I'll show how to create all these things, and later we'll going to assign it here. Okay, then if I want to block the payment, I can do here. For some vendor, we need to block the payment. What is the reason to block? Because some vendor is some problematic vendors are there, because while maintaining the quotation, while giving the quotation, they mentioned or they quoted some other price. At the time of invoice, they quoted some different price. On that time, we need to verify the invoice and quotation, then only we are going to make the payment to that particular vendor. Okay, so on that time we can assign for payment, we can assign the payment block method. Then alternative pay, as we discussed. Then house bank, from which bank we are going to make the payment. In case if you are having a bank transfer, then I need to mention the bank details, that is house bank is not much more required. Press enter. Here having dunning procedure, usually in real time or in real, almost every cases dunning procedure is applicable for customer only. It not be used for vendor. If we are maintaining ECS, means electronic clearance, for vendor payment, then it will give a reminder for us to make the payment. Okay, ECS means electronic clearance, then it will give the reminder. That's the reason they had put this dunning procedure in vendor screen. Okay, then press enter and click on save. Okay, now we'll go another, we'll create another vendor in another group. Say example PSIV, I'll remove this and I'll give PSSV, this foreign vendor. We'll create individual vendor in foreign group. Okay, and company code, let it be same. Again, vendor column should be blank because number will pick automatically what are the number ranges we maintain in the back end, means configuration level. Press enter. Again, title you can take company, then Venus, I'll give Venus Limited. Subtitle will be Venus. Here I am going to give MG road also, because I give some other address also. Let me check whether it is working or not. 5th lane, New York, country India, and region, so it's not India, it's New York is US. I need to mention US, and region, when it is in New York, and state will be, or region will be NY. Okay, so let me check whether it is accepting. Yeah, it is accepting. Press enter. If you are having tax number of that particular vendor, you can mention it here, or else skip means enter. Maintain the address, bank details of this particular vendor, you can mention here bank details, hence it is not required for me. I'll skip. And here contact person, I'll give Matthew. Okay, he's into execute Thompson. Okay. So these two persons are the contact person. The center, reconciliation account, sundry creditors, we'll start. Okay, so cash management group, it's foreign sort key. I'll take 012, that is vendor number. Cash management group, as I told you, it's a foreign. I'll take A2, enter. I'll come to next level. There I need to mention the payment terms, as I created only one terms, that I'll assign same. Tolerance group PSD, and as of now I'm not maintained any payment method, so I'll leave blank, and payment block method is not required. Press enter. Dunning procedure is not applicable, as I told you. It will be almost every cases, or almost 95% of cases will be maintained for customer only. Okay, enter and save. Okay, see here the number ranges. What are the number ranges we assigned, that has been picked up from the system automatically. Okay, now I'll create the group in one-time vendor group. Enter vendor. Okay, vendor group, vendor column leave blank. It will pick the number automatically, and company code and account group PSOV. Enter. Company, here I'll take like PSD one time vendor. I'll give like this. Okay, and then can give MG Road, Bangalore, Metro India region 10. Here I am maintaining the address of my particular vendor. Press enter. It will come to next level. There I need to input the tax details, VAT number, GST number, etc. No need to maintain anything. Just skip. Bank details, if you require you can add, otherwise leave blank. Press enter again. Contact person, not required. Reconciliation account, same 100601. Cash sort key is 012, same. And when it is a one-time vendor, then I need to select this AC one-time. Enter. Payment terms, I'll assign the same. Tolerance group PSD. Enter. Dunning procedure, as we not required, or we no need to maintain the Dunning procedure. Enter and save. See the number ranges. Okay. Now if you want to do any changes, then go to FK02. There, go to FK02. Select the vendor. In which area you want to do any changes? Say I want to change the address, or I want to change the controls. I want to add some bank details. Let me add this bank details. So this is my vendor. This is payment transaction. Yes, select the payment transaction. We are having two payment transaction. So one is payment transaction. First payment transactions will be bank related transaction. Okay. Here I need to maintain the bank transaction, means bank details. I need to provide the vendor's bank details, and we are having one more payment transaction. There we are going to maintain terms of payments, tolerance group, all these things. Okay, so now I'm going to select payment transaction in general data. Press enter, and here country, I'll take India. Then bank key means IFSC code. If you're having any IFSC code, I will show how to maintain the, or how to create the IFSC code later. Right now I'm going to select this one. If you're having the bank account number, I'll mention here. Then account name will be ACI India Limited. So I'm going to mention like this. It's not a mandatory to give all these things, but if you are going to creating the vendor, and if you are doing any transaction or payment transaction to that particular vendor, need to maintain all the details here. Okay, save here. Okay, now these things has been added. Okay, if you want to do any changes, come to FK02. Then if you want to view the vendor master record, then FK03. In FK02 we can add and we can view the vendor, but here in FK03 only we can view that particular vendor. We cannot do any changes here. We can view, that's it. See here, it is graded out. You cannot do any changes here. Okay, and if you want to see, or if you want to block this vendor, you can block, because in real time what will happen after, especially at the time of, or at the time of one-time vendor, after completion of transactions, we can block that particular vendor, or once you block that particular vendor, end user cannot post the entry for that particular vendor. So blocking option is there, block and unblock is there. If you want to block, so just select the vendor company code, press enter, and select all company code and save it. This vendor comes under block status. Okay, we are not going to block anything. Then deletion indicator, FK06. If you want to delete your vendor master data permanently from your database, then go with this option. But in real time, we will not delete the master data once you created in the system, because while creating the vendor or customer master data, we are going to input lot of data or lot of fields in creation. That's the reason what we do, we will never delete any data. Master data will not delete. Okay, and if you want to see what are the changes so far done, go to FK04. There input your vendor company code is PSD, press enter. It will show what are the changes you done in that particular vendor. Click on all changes. Okay, here, see here, vendor master bank detail is added. Okay, who has been maintained? User 3, and he's added bank account number and account number. So these are the data has been ordered. Okay, if you want to see that one, FK04 is the option. There you can go and you can see the changes and who are going to do the changes, who did the changes, everything you can do. You can see that in the particular T code. Okay, now we'll go to create the vendor. Sorry, vendor already created. Now we'll going to do the posting. As I told you, we're having a purchase invoices to maintain, and we discuss regarding posting also. In account receivable we did sales, right? There we had given debited to my customer and credited to my sales revenue account. These are the posting keys, and whenever any damaged goods is sent to my customer, damaged goods will be returned to us, right? There we are going to show the separate entry as called as sales revenue or credit payment. Okay, in accounts payable also we can post the invoices, like we are going to post the purchase invoices. There we are going to give the purchasing account debited to vendor account, and posting key will be 40 and 31. And damaged goods, obviously we are going to return back to my vendor. On that time we are going to show the accounting entry as vendor account debited to purchase account. Then accounting key is posting key is 21 and 50. Okay, now we'll see the entry here. I'll come to easy access, then accounting, financial accounting, accounts payable, document entry, and FP60 invoice. This is multiple entry and this is single entry. FP60. There I need to change the company code first. This is my company code. Here I can select the vendor. We're having 3 vendors. You can select any vendor first, and I'll give some old date, like give 1/4/2020, and amount will be around 1 lakh. Tax number, tax amount, we are not so far maintained any tax, so let it be blank. No need to maintain anything, or no need to give any tax amount. Then text, purchase invoice posting. As I told you, vendor account credited to, or vendor account credit and purchase account debit, right? So come to here, press enter. We're having purchase account. We are having inventory of raw material account. So I'll take this 200222220 and amount 1 lakh rupees again. Okay, so this is the purchase invoice. There I'm going to mention the vendor, and this is the debit entry for my GL, inventory of raw material, or that is also called as purchase account. And I'm going to mention the date, posting date, then the description. As of now, we have not maintained any GST, so I'm not going to select any tax account. Okay. And now if you want to check the entry, click on simulate. Before saving, if you can check this. Okay, say the entry will come like this. This is vendor and this is purchase account. Okay, now everything is okay. Click on save. Now, or if you after posting, we can view the posted entry also. Then go to document and click on display. See, here it will come like this. If you want to do any changes also, you can go with like this. Means you cannot do all changes, just we can change the text and date. That's it. Text and date we can change. Okay, now I'm going to make the entry in single. Go to F-43, purchase invoice, general. Again, I'll maintain the number, so date as 1/4/2021. Document type here, K stands for vendor invoice. Okay, it will pick from the system automatically. Posting date also same. Period 1, because where our new fiscal year has started from April 1. Currency INR. We can take another currency also. We'll discuss regarding currency later. Document number, if you're having any invoice number, you can mention here. Otherwise, or reference number also you can give, but it is not required. And document header text will mention purchase invoice posting. Purchase invoice posting. And here I need to mention the posting key, because we are not using the word called debit and credit. There we are going to mention the, or we are going to bifurcate the debit credit entry by using this posting key. Okay, posting key 31. Okay, 31 stands for credit to vendor, and here I need to mention the vendor account number. Just press F4, we'll get the vendor account number. Okay, here you can mention dollar, because my vendor is from New York, so I need to maintain the payment through US dollar. Okay, later we'll discuss regarding currency. Press enter now, right now, and here I'm going to give amount as 1000, because 1000 US dollar, right? Whenever we are going to select other currency, as our currency is INR, right? Means how our currency means, at the time of creation of company, we maintained our currency as INR. That's the reason it is called as local currency, right? Whenever we are going to select other currency, we'll get another column called LC amount. What is LC amount? Local currency amount. It will get converted. Okay, it will get converted. How to convert or how to do the configurations regarding currency, as I told you, we'll discuss later. because it is very or too early to do all this thing regarding configurations regarding currency. So we'll discuss later. Okay. Then payment terms will be picked up automatically. As I told you, we can block the payment, or payment currency we can give in a different currency, as we are doing the transaction in USD currency, but payment currency may be or may not be USD. Then text, purchase invoice, posting. Then posting key 40 means a debit to my purchase account. So here I am having the purchase account 200220. Press enter. We come to next screen. There I need to input the star in amount column, and text column I will give, or I will input plus. Enter. See here, if you observe, this is my transaction currency and this is my local currency. Someone has given for $1 there will be 70 rupees. That's the reason it's showing 70,000. 1,000 into 70 means 70,000. Okay. This system or this configurations I'll show you later. Right now, if you want to do the verification, or if you want to check the entry, just go to document and click on simulate. See here, the entry will come like this. Or if you want to see the transaction in your currency, just click on the currency. See here. Entry is correct. Click on save. Okay, now the entry has been purchases has been done. Now if you are having any defective pieces, then I need to return to my vendor. How to return? We are having a separate T code called FP65. There we can go and we are going to show the return entry. Okay, go to FP65, input the vendor here. Okay, I'll take this one. On 1st of April we purchase. On 5th of April we are going to return some worth of 1,000 rupees. Okay, 1,000 worth of goods we are going to return to my vendor, and text will be purchase returns. Here again I'll mention my purchase account. If you observe, on that time at the invoice posting we had given debited to my purchase account. Now I am giving credit. Okay, and here again I'll give the purchase amount, return amount. Enter. Okay, now entry is correct. Click on simulate. If you want to see that entry, you can simulate and see. Okay, now purchase return is over. Now if you want to see the balances, okay, we are having two options again. One is just we can see the balances in FK10N. There we can see the balances of that particular GL only, or particular vendor only. If you are having so many vendors and so many transactions you did with one vendor, if you want to see one by one, that is line item display, or line by line balances you want to check, go to FBL1N. So first we'll go to FK10N, and here I'll input my vendor. Okay, I'll give this vendor and company code PSD and fiscal year 2021, and click on execute or press F8. See here we are getting the balance like this. This is my credit balance, means we purchased the some 1 lakh rupees of worth of goods with this particular vendor, and after that we returned something, and totally how much I need to pay? 90,000 I need to pay to my vendor. For this vendor I need to pay this much of amount. Okay, one means April month, like that. Okay, now we'll see the balances in a different way. I'll come to FBL1N. Here I'll select all my vendor, or I can select the range of vendor, or some combination of vendor also I can select. Okay, I'll give the company code, and I'll give all item, means open item, cleared. It means open means not yet cleared, cleared means already paid, or all item, both will get here. I'll select all item and execute. See here, we'll get a report like this. Therefore, this is assignment number, this is vendor number, this is document type, that document number, this is document type, on which date we did the transaction, and this one red color indicates it's still the payment not yet done, and this is DD not due, net due date. Okay, because net due date means as we at the time of I'll show that one. Not due means at the time of terms of payment creation, right? So we mentioned 30 days, right? On this regard, 30th of April is the due date, right? So I'll add due date column, you will get the clear picture. So I'll go to change layout and I'll search for due date, a due date, and I'll add to this level. Okay, I'll copy, see here, come right side. Okay, due is 1/5, that's the reason it's showing not due. So still 30 days or 15 days we are having the time to pay the money, that's the reason it's showing 1/5. Okay, after 1/5 it will be showing like it's a due. So this is how we are going to maintain the vendor and purchasing invoices. Okay, so we'll stop here today. Tomorrow we'll continue the class and we'll do some other transaction and other configuration. Okay, tomorrow maybe morning 7, is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Morning 7. Okay, so I'll confirm evening. So I'll confirm regarding timings in evening. But maximum I'll try to take morning only. Okay then bye.